Time for sound design. The other day I made a video about sample CDs in the 90s, before sample packs on the internet were a thing, where you can find a lot of drums, melodic instruments, loops, riffs, all that stuff. So I want to continue on that topic, and I found another goldmine for samples, which is Music Radar's website, where you have more than 84,000 free samples that you can download. Anything from drum loops, drum hits, to instruments, guitar riffs, anything you can basically think of. So today I want to take a look at some of those samples. I downloaded the 266 acoustic guitar loops. They come in two tempos, 85 and 120 BPM, and I just picked out a loop and it sounds like this. And usually I would record stuff myself, but in this case, this is a great resource for samples. And I'm, again, not going to use this loop as is. I'm just going to throw this into Simpler and create my own sort of textural instrument from it. So let's go to Ableton and check it out. So this is the loop that I selected. It's at 85 BPM. I'm going to throw it into Simpler and see if we can make something from this. So immediately I'm thinking, what if we use the sort of a sustained note? Maybe the last one here. So I tuned it to a C so that when I play a C note on the keyboard, it actually, you hear a C. Let's increase the attack. So let's turn the sustain all the way down and the release up. So I'm thinking, this is a short sound, so maybe an arpeggiator. Add a quarter note. And then I create 4 bars. But to fill it up a bit, I'm gonna, of course, add a delay, but a very short one, and filter it. And in order to create more stereo spread, what about a chorus before the delay? And also an auto pan after the delay. I'm adding extra notes actually in the last half bar. So I'm thinking a fifth above the note that I have already. Or fourth actually. And maybe it's nice to play with the attack a bit, so put an LFO on that, so that slowly moves, and then maybe with the chorus of 8 bars, you create a bit of variation that way. So now, as always, I have this instrument, so I'm going to save it as an instrument rack and add it to my library, and maybe think if I can assign some macro parameters as well. Let's first select all the devices and group them and save them as music, radar, acoustic, guitar. And then I'm thinking what kind of macro parameters make sense for this instrument. Maybe an erosion to make it a bit more noisy. And then do the amount of the erosion as a macro parameter. So yeah, that's it for this video. Just to go back to the starting point, I used a sample from free sample pack on Music Radar. It's linked in the description to the specific sample pack that I used, but also to the website, and it's all alphabetical and there's a ton of stuff there to check out. So the loop that I picked is this one. And it's that last note that I used. Put it into Simpler and added an arpeggiator and a few effects, and then you get this. So that really shows that you don't need to have a lot to work with. If you have an acoustic guitar yourself, you could have recorded this, of course. But if you don't have access to that, or you don't know how to play it, then having a sample pack like this that you then use to make your own sounds from works great. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and see you in the next one.